Calling this meeting to order. Today is Tuesday, October 14th. It is 5:30 p.m. Will we please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Juan Castillo, President.
Present.
Lorena Delgadillo, Clerk.
Present.
Christina Clark, Member.
Present.
Luisa Arriola, Member.
Present.
Gladys Anaya, Member.
Present.
We have a quorum.
Thank you, Mary. Moving on to 2.1. Do we have any comments from the audience?
No, we do not.
No comments from the audience. Thank you, Mary. Moving on to 3.1, report from Mr. Duron.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for being here. It's really nice to see all the board members together again. And thank you for the directors that made it tonight. I know this week is fall break, and so some of us did decide to stay and work today, so I appreciate your attendance. So thank you so much for being here. A couple of things I want to bring up to you. One of the action items that we have for you guys today is the capital plan. This is an annual thing. This is a plan that we submit to the state to basically map out the needs that we have as a district, right? So we continue to update the state in the growth of the Somerton community as well as the growth in east of San Luis. So we were able to update some of that information. We do have about 15 to 18,000 residents living in Avenue F and E, and so that is substantial. And we had a coffee with the superintendent last week at SVS, and so we had the opportunity to speak to parents about how, all that community really belongs to the Somerton district. And so I think that was an eye-opener for some of the parents there, and really understanding how, as we move forward, we need to do something to ensure that we bring funds to continue to grow our district down there. So that was something that was really eye-opening last week. So that plan is we need, obviously, you guys' approval, and that's what we put in as an action item. So that'll be something for you guys to look at. Also in Somerton, within Somerton, we're having several subdivisions coming up pretty soon. Estrellas Phase 6 or 7, and then Estrellas Phase 8, which is close to Tierra del Sol, as well as we have 2 big apartment complexes by BTS that'll yield about 250 apartments. So we have a lot of growth happening within our community, so we're really excited for that. So we'll see what the state says about that. A couple of other things. As you guys know, our system for our board documents, board docs, will be moving to Diligent Citizen. This coming Friday, Mary will be having the first training. There's more training on our behalf because we're the ones that input all the information. Once we have the appropriate training, we'll go and either sit with you one-on-one or gather you guys to kind of take you through some of those new changes within the system. But we were told that they're very user-friendly, so don't despair. A couple of other things, something that's really exciting, and we presented this to our administrators last admin, was that we're working towards reimbursing our employees' gym membership. So we're working with 24/7, and I've been working for many weeks already. 24/7 is represented not only in Foothills, it's also in Yuma, Somerton, and San Luis. So it kind of covers the gamut for all of our employees. The idea is for them to enroll. Once they present their Somerton ID, they'll be able to waive their initial fee. And then there is a commitment for our employees that would have to attend the gym 3 times a week. And then at the end of the month, they would have to submit a visitor's log, and that's going to support the idea of reimbursing for their membership. So, we're really excited. We continue to promote health and, well-being. So that's one of those things. And then just a quick thing, I want you to consider some of the events that are coming up to go and cheer for not only our athletic teams, which in Somerton they're amazing, but now we're also kind of growing our marching band and our folkloric team. Last month in our ASBA county dinner, you know, they had the opportunity to showcase the first month worth of training and really practicing their songs, and they did a phenomenal job. So they will be presenting themselves in the coming holiday parades, and obviously we'll give you guys that information as we get closer. All right. Any questions?
Any questions or comments?
No.
Thank you, Mr. Leron. Moving on to 3.2, Ms. Say.
All right, good evening. I just wanted to share a few things. I was at the Yuma County Drug Coalition today, and they were sharing some different safe trick-or-treat events for the students, so we'll be sharing that out to our community as well. And then I'm excited to announce that we have 2 of our counselors that got yellow ribbon trained, which is suicide, suicide prevention training, and that we can do in-house. That's approved by the state as one of the trainings that we can utilize. And we also have what's on Vector as well, but it's not one of the ones that the state wants to be trained. And that's really nice. So we're gonna be rolling that out as well. And then we have been just continuing to work on reunification, so I know that you are aware that we had our first bus drill for evacuation that's in a reunification mindset. And so all of our schools are going to go through that so we can see what would it take for us to evacuate our entire school should the need arise. How much time does it take? What would our turnaround time be? All of those kinds of things. So that's the phase that we're in this fall semester. And then we're going to do one of our schools, which is Brave T. Soto, which will be reunified or relocated to their site. And that's what Mr. Duran and I are working on, is making sure that which site we're going to be able to go to. So we might look at our first indication, our first site somewhere in Somerton, or the Cocopah area. And so we're working with the Cocopah Tribal Council as well to decide on the locations there. And so it's a lot of different phases, a lot of details, but we're working on that, and everyone has been great to help us out with all the details. Are there
When will
any-
that be? For
Say
the
that
next
again?
unification?
We're targeting February 27th for the big reunification. And so that February 27th is a Friday, so we're trying to, since it's planned, we're trying to go around all the testing and all the things that'll be happening in February and try to make it as easy as possible on that day. Mhm. But throughout the rest of this month, and I believe November 20th or 21st is the last day that all of the 7 schools will have practiced the bus drill, getting all of the students on the bus and off. And then that also counts for Ms. Villarreal as her evacuation bus drills that she needs to have and on the logs. And so that will also count both ways. But we had a great turnout with law enforcement, fire, sheriff. They all came out to support, walk the premise, make sure that what we were doing was working well. And we had a big debrief with Chief Juarez and the team after. And so that was very fruitful. So we have all of our debrief notes and everything as well. So we can, and the principals were there too, all the other principals, so they could see, oh, this is what I'm looking forward to. Okay, how do I plan? But Mr. Moreno and the team did an amazing job on the first one. They were very organized and had everything really set well.
Any questions or comments? Thank you, Ms. Say.
Can I add a couple of things that I missed, Mr. Castillo? And of course, I need to make sure that I express my gratitude to Ms. Kim. She's been spearheading the whole safety protocol in regards to reunification, so I'm really thankful for your leadership in that sense, Ms. Kim. You've done a really, really good job, so thank you. A couple of other things that I missed. Now you're going to be seeing the field trips approved under my report. And as you can see, this is public record, so you can see these are the approved migrant program field trips that are coming up for them. So you'll have them there. And then the one last thing, next month, we will be having our board meeting at the Cocopah Tribe Council chambers, and so we're getting ready for that as well. Wi-Fi might be a little tricky, so we're trying to figure out if we record the meeting and then post it right away so that we don't interfere or breaks down. So we're working on those logistics, but we'll be having it next month at the Cocopah. All right, so, thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Clark, you had a question?
I did have a question, and I'm sorry, I promised you guys that I would be at the safety event. How did that go? Any debriefing on that?
The one
That-
for
the one at
BTS?
TDS?
Oh, at TDS.
Yes.
Well, we needed more parents to show up.
Mhm.
So we had it, we had published it a couple of times out there, and actually prior to the event, right, that happened. But the parent night that we had, we didn't have very many parents, so we went ahead the very next morning at SVS and presented that same
Oh, okay.
PowerPoint, yeah.
We
and
took
that
advantage of the
information.
parent, the coffee with the superintendent. We have it live streamed, so we thought, well, if a lot of parents didn't show up that night, we'll live stream the information so that other parents are able to have access to it. Yeah.
And we just thought, well, our community must be very comfortable with our methods of safety and all the things that we're doing, because it all did really go very smoothly with our law enforcement and everybody. So we're very proud of the team that we have in Somerton.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Sang.
I have a question.
Ms. Delgadillo?
You said that next month we're gonna have our meeting at the Cocopa Chambers, but next month our meeting falls on Veterans Day.
I think we decided to move it to the Wednesday after Veterans Day.
November 12th.
Yes.
Okay, so Wednesday. Do we want to keep 5:30 or do? Okay. So, any other questions or comments? No? Thank you. So moving on to 4.1, board member reports and board attendance. Ms. Ariola?
No report.
Ms. Anaya?
I don't have a report.
Ms. Clark?
I just wanted to thank ASBA for coming in and giving us the in-service on roles and responsibilities to help induct our newest board member, and to kind of give us a little review on our roles and responsibilities. So I truly appreciate that. And also the ASBA county meeting that we attended, everybody that was involved, from cafeteria to maintenance, making sure that everything was all ready to go, technology, everybody. It was such a nice event, and seeing the kids, the band kids perform, Somo Soma, that was awesome. Thank you so much for everybody's input and welcoming our fellow neighboring districts to show them what we got. So thank you so much for your hard work and efforts.
Of course. Thank you, Ms. Clark. Ms. Delgadillo?
I have nothing.
And kind of, I'm going to echo what Ms. Clark just said. You know, I do want to thank our board members, you know, Ms. Clark, Ms. Anaya, Ms. Delgadillo, for attending the ASBA training on the roles and responsibilities. You know, knowing our do's and don'ts, it's essential to leading effectively and working together. But I think for me, more importantly, it provides us good governance. We don't always have to agree, but we can always disagree in a respectful and professional way. You know, us as board members, I think it's important to kind of lead by example, you know, and just to kind of add to that, you know, I've never seen a successful school district, you know, with a dysfunctional board, you know, so I think, you know, I take great pride in our professional development. So thank you for those of you that attended. And Mr. Duron, thank you for the handbook. Yes. You know, I know when we attended the law conference, we saw them.
Yeah.
And, you know, I wanted to make sure that we all, you know, got the book. Again, I mean, these are imperative for our roles. You know, like I said, there's a lot of do's and don'ts. And this kind of,
It's a really good guide.
yeah, it's kind of like our Bible to ensure that we stay in compliance at all times. The ASBA county meeting, like Ms. Clark mentioned, it was awesome. I want to thank all staff. The food was delicious. I love those ribs. I mean, everything was great. The student performance, I mean, everything was just amazing. You know, I'm glad that we had that opportunity to display our school. You know, and I just want to go ahead and just kind of say one more thing, you know, just for the record. I mean, I know there was there was a social media post out there that we Somerton paid for everything, you know. That's misinformation. That was very misleading. Every district paid their way, you know. So I just want to make sure and have that on the record. You know, there was someone out there that was misleading and provided false information. So I just wanted to put it out there that we didn't pay. The only thing we paid was each board members and superintendent's registration. So
Yeah.
that was it.
Which covered, yeah.
So aside from that, that's all I have. We're gonna move to 5.1, you know, reports from a Director of Building, Grounds, and Maintenance, Mr. Velasco.
There we go. Good afternoon, Board President, Board members, Superintendent Durone, Assistant Superintendent Ms. A, and colleagues. I have a brief presentation for you tonight. This is just a general overview and comprehensive structure of our departments, facilities maintenance and grounds and custodial departments. And just a brief summary of our roles, our staff, what we do, and the services that we provide to the district. Again, it's brief, but it's to the point, and it basically covers pretty much everything. In addition, we are fully staffed. We are going to be losing a seasoned veteran facilities maintenance person in early December. But as of today, we're fully staffed. Any questions?
Questions or comments?
That was your report?
That's the report.
Okay, I do have a question.
Yeah.
The other day, the other evening, I passed around 9:30, and the gates were open. Who's responsible for closing those gates? I know they're electronic, but is there like a glitch, or because, you know, someone can drive in or walk in, and there's a lot of.
Those gates are automatic gates that close off in the evening, and they're open early in the morning. Was it a weekday?
It was the weekend. It was a
Weekend.
Friday night.
Friday night. There might have been a glitch on the
Okay.
system, but I can certainly look into that and get back to Mary with an answer.
Okay. I just wanted to know, and I was gonna text you, but it was kinda late, and so.
The following, this coming weekend on the 18th, there's also an event for the city that we've been asked to
Open them.
leave the gates open as well for UTV parking and trailers and all that stuff, but, again, I'll take a look.
Just to check
Sure,
and
yeah,
see,
of course.
sometimes, you know,
Yeah.
it could be a glitch of some sort.
Right. And again, this is brief, but it's, again, to the point, and it pretty much covers our roles, what we do, again, the services that we provide to the district.
You know, I do want to thank you and staff, and, you know, because when I drive around, let's say TDS, and I see other campuses, I mean, everything, the maintenance is upkept and everything, so, you know, I think that's, when parents come and that's the first thing they look at least for me, it's that first impression. So, you know, I let staff know and everyone that we appreciate their hard work and your hard work.
We strive to do our best. You know, I mentioned, right now, we're fully staffed, but, you know, months back, we were short-staffed for a good while. And we were still able to adjust and manage and continue to provide the same, you know, professional level of services, because we do care. You know, we come to work and we do the best job possible. And I think it shows, you know, when you really care about doing something and putting in a good effort, it does show.
Yeah.
So I will convey your message to the staff, and, you know, that's, thank you for.
Okay.
for
We
bringing
drive
that.
around and we see BTS, nice,
All the
all
schools
the
are
schools.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But we went for the
So
drivers,
proud
the
of that.
achievers, even
Yeah.
Sun Valley, you know,
Right.
I mean,
And,
everything.
yeah,
so
I mean.
we
you-
notice. Thank you.
Yeah, so it's noticeable, and again, we try to do our best and bring a professional level to all of our services that we provide, so, thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Thank you, Martin. Moving on to 5.2, Director of Technology, Mr. Duarte.
All right, good evening, board members, Mr. Ron, Ms. A, and colleagues. I'm gonna keep it pretty brief. Can you go to the next slide, Mary? This is my team, consists of me, my network admin, Luis, Jacqueline, IT secretary, and the stellar Abigail Franco, who does state reporting and helped us a lot during the Synergy transition. Next slide is my 4 techs. So we have 4 computer techs to manage the entire, all 7 schools and the district office and departments. Next slide. Some of the completed projects, SVS expansion. As you know, the new expansion at SVS is up and going. They got their Wi-Fi, they got Ethernet ports, they got iPads, charging stations, Apple TVs. So they're good to go. We are going to upgrade the Wi-Fi in that area once we renew E-rate, which I will talk soon. We did do some things different this year. We moved all the computer techs to the district office in centralize the support and basically, cover schools, who have higher needs on certain days and stuff like that. And also, it's more efficient, to be honest with you. It would be nice if we could have a tech at each site, but, financially, it's not feasible, right? Especially for a school district our size. Next slide, Mary. Synergy migration, we moved on to Synergy. We have a contract with ETC that helps manages our SIS Synergy, which is awesome because they get to fix all the things that, all the glitches that come up and all the reports and all that stuff. So we kind of just outsource that, and which is good for me. It saves me some time. And so it's been great. It's been a headache. I mean, as far as the transition, that's just something that's expected when you switch the system. But, everyone adapted. Everyone's using it. There's a lot of training that's going on. I have a whole list of all the trainings that I didn't want to list here, but there's so much that we've done and supported all staff members, and we continue to support them. Whenever someone needs help, we contact TTC. We can set up a virtual training, in-person training, or Abigail actually will go there and teach them one-on-one. Next thing, camera security upgrades. You can go back, Mary. We upgraded every school except for one, which I will be left nameless. We switched everyone to a cloud-based camera system. What does that mean? Basically, all the recordings are in the cloud. We have access it through a mobile device, through a computer, anywhere. It has AI built into them, so we can track movement. We can track the color of someone's shirt that day. If we could even track license plates. And this is all helpful because at TDS we had that event, and Rafa was able to get that video quickly and efficiently to law enforcement, and the person was apprehended. So it's awesome that we have this this camera security system, which actually when Duron came in, that was one of his things, like let's get that going. So good thing he approved. He gave the green light on that one. So thank you, Mr. Duron. There's more security things that I wish we had the money for, but unfortunately, like I said, it's all about the money. So, but hey, if we had the money, we would have some really nice stuff. But yeah, let's just go ahead and go to the next slide. E-rate. So E-rate window opens this month. What is E-rate? E-rate is a federal program that basically helps rural schools to make sure that they have a good network infrastructure, right? So basically, they give us a certain amount of money per pupil, which is estimated about $611K over 5 years. What does that cover? It covers, access points, which is the Wi-Fi, switches, cabling, racks, UPS, firewall, everything that we need to make sure our schools are well equipped with our network. Okay, we get it. We basically get it every year. We've never not gotten it, so it's great. It's a great grant that we get, and we utilize it to to the fullest. So next slide. This is my last slide. This is basically work orders. We've had 1,487 work orders since July 1st, and we've resolved 1,470, meaning we have 17 pending work orders. So sometimes, things happen where we're waiting for a part or we're waiting for support from another vendor to fix it. So some of those things are out of control. But as you can see, in August, when school started, there's a big spike right there. There was about 75 work orders in one day created. So, yeah, it was a little hectic, but we got it through. And honestly, I have a great team. I love my team. They're go-getters. They're doing a great job. And with this transition of synergy, did consume a lot of our time, a lot of lessons learned. But you know, we got the ball rolling. We're good. And right now we're at a point where we're managing work orders as they come in. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And next slide. And that's it. You guys have any questions for me?
Any questions or comments?
I have a question. So at this, and I know you were talking about money, we don't have enough money for everything
Right.
that we need, but one of the things that stuck with me from that ASBA law conference that I got to go to last month, or a month and a half ago, was it's nice to have the security cameras,
Right.
right? Especially thankfully at TDS, you could see it after the fact and then figure out
Right.
who the suspect was, but is there a plan or is there any type of, anything coming in the woodworks that would be someone in real time monitoring the camera system?
Hmm.
Is that like something that would be,
Like a central station of sorts.
like your technology
Yeah.
central station will have all the cameras and somebody monitoring, so if something is going down, like you know right away, not after the fact? Luckily,
Right.
we didn't need it at TDS, but I'm just wondering
Right.
if we have considered that at all.
I mean, I think that's something like Mr. Udon question, like having someone security that's going to be monitoring the cameras 24/7.
Well, I mean,
Uh,
at least while the kids are at school. or
Oh, while the
the
kids are at
students
school.
What's
Yeah.
coming up is we want to do another camera analysis per campus, because I know even just thinking about Somerton Middle School, it's so big, and I mean, there's plenty of cameras, but there's always going to be some like areas, hidden spots. And so we want to go and analyze again all the campuses and provide kind of a cost kind of situation to
Right.
see what would it cost per campus, and then start tackling one campus at a time. Once we have all those cameras established, I can see your vision as to having a kind of like a centralized port of sorts where someone can be watching live feeds of our campuses.
Right.
But for now, it's more cameras for
Right.
campuses.
And,
yeah.
and some of the AI capabilities, they do have some features where like if it detects someone with like a
Mhm.
weapon, it does have that ability where it'll
Like an
notify.
alert or something?
Yeah, like a little alert, like if someone has a weapon, the camera catches it, like it'll alert. So it does have those capabilities. We never tested it, but because we don't have.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And then when it comes to the topic of security, it's hard to discuss that in a public forum like
Yeah.
this, just because it's we don't want to, give too much information
Right.
Mhm.
just for security purposes. So.
Thank you for sharing that, because that is true.
Yes. But just one other thing, as far as security, we did sign I believe it was an IJA with the city of Yuma. We're gonna get this application called Rave that integrates with the Somerton PD dispatch. We actually finished the implementation last week, and I'm gonna go to each campus and I'm gonna test the system. I talked to Captain Jenkins. And I'm going to go to each school, but I have to call dispatch first and be like, hey, I'm going to initialize the lockdown. And then to make sure that, no police law enforcement comes in. And then we're just going to, and then once we confirm that every school has the system up and running, we're going to train the staff and we're going to do some practice. So, and what that system does, it gives law enforcement more information when a lockdown is initiated. It tells them who initiated, where it was initiated. And like I said, I just don't want to give more information, but it's a neat system. It doesn't replace 911, but it just gives law enforcement more information so they can help us, more efficiently.
Thank you, Mr. Arte. Any other questions or comments? Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So moving on to consent agenda. Does any member wish to remove something from consent agenda or have a question or comment? If no, I need a motion.
So move.
Motion was made by Ms. Clark,
Second.
second by Ms. Ariola. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to 7.1, approval of the SFB capital plan summary for 2025-26.
I spoke a little bit about it on my report, so the recommendation is to approve the SFB 2025-26 capital plan summary for submission to the SFB.
Does anybody have a comment or a question? No? Need a motion? Motion was made by Ms. Delgadillo,
Second?
seconded by Ms. Clark. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to 7.2, approval of the annual financial report and school level report for FY 24-25.
Hi, good evening, everyone. There's a few attachments, but you can follow along on the PowerPoint. This is just a summary of the annual financial report that you guys approve every year. So just a refresher what the annual financial report is. It's pretty much a summary of all of the district's expenditures in FY '25. It is required by statute, and it must be submitted to the state by October 15th, which is tomorrow. The AFR consists of M&O, capital, grants, special fund expenditures, and then this year what they did different was, instead of having a separate AFR for food services, they just inserted the tab in there. And then we have the school level AFRs, and then we have the classroom site fund AFR. So an overview of the expenditures for M&O. Our approved budget was 23.3 as of May 13th. Our expenditures left us with a budget balance of 1.5. You can see that's a little higher than last year. On the right-hand side, we have the prior year expenditures, so you can do a comparison. So we had a budget balance of 1.5. We had an ending cash balance of 1.7. We had 220,000, which exceeded budget capacity, which left us with our 1.5 to use for stability for going forward into next year. Any questions on M&O?
So that's kind of like what carried over, right? We're carrying over the 1.7,
The 1.5.
the 1.5, which is, because what's the recommended, about 4% to carry over, right?
Yes, and we're at about 6.5% with the
6.5.
1.5.
Any other questions or comments? Thank you.
And then for our district additional assistance, also known as our capital budget, we started the year with a $4.1 million budget. Our expenditures was 2.7, and that left us with the budget balance of 1.3, which was a little lower than last year, but you know that the whole purpose of that carryover was to do our expansion, and that's what we did with that money this year. We had an ending cash balance of 1.5. So the fund balance exceeding was 265,000, which some of that we will be able to recover next year when we pull our interest that we earned. And so for maintaining stability, we have 1.3 to roll over. Any questions on capital?
Questions or comments?
So this question continues to come up. They want us to report on it. The district currently does not have a policy in place with an established targeted fund balance reserve level. However, the Director of Finance, along with superintendents, have discussed that the best practice for reserve is the minimum of 4%. And as I mentioned, we're currently at 6.5% for rollover, so we're doing pretty good.
Do you feel the need for us to have a policy, or as long as we maintain this best practice, should be suffice?
I think for now, we've been doing really
It's
good. I
more
mean,
of a
to
best
me, it was Laura's like, let's keep it at least 4. So knowing that it's a 6.5, we're really good. And it's always something that we're having a conversation about. So,
Because with the policy, I mean, there might be factors that might
yeah.
be out of our control in it, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who is it that's requesting that? Auditors?
It's the Auditor General.
Oh,
They
okay.
talk about having a policy or kind of what is our best practice, but I mean, the best practice is just to monitor expenditures and budget every year and, you know, keep that open dialogue with superintendents and do the best we can to try and keep that reserve as
Right.
high as we can.
How do other districts manage it? Do they have a policy, or is it also same?
I'm not too sure. This kind of just came about within the last 2 years of the Auditor General wanting something like this. So I'm not sure how many of them have actually put something in policy. Because it is, then if you put it in policy, then you have to kind of follow it, and it becomes a little restrictive.
Right.
But we'll look into it anyway.
Any other questions or comments?
That's it for me.
Does that conclude your?
Thank you. Yes, thank you.
Laura.
Okay, need a motion?
So move.
Motion was made by Ms. Clark,
Second.
second by Ms. Anaya. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. 7.3, approval of school parent support organization FY '26.
The recommendation is to approve school parents support organizations for Orange Grove and Tierra del Sol. So that's the recommendation.
Questions or comments?
I have a question for TDS. Do they also have bylaws?
Yes.
Yes.
They just didn't attach it? Do we just
Correct.
assume that it's the ones from Orangeville?
It's
that's the
the-
same?
We have district bylaws now,
Ah,
so
okay.
they're the same ones
For
for all
everyone.
of our PTOs.
Gotcha.
And so that's been consolidated and sent out to everyone, so.
Okay.
Any other questions or comments? Need a motion? Motion was made by Ms. Delgadillo,
Second.
second by Ms. Anaya. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to 7.4, approval of the reading for policy advisory number 917-958.
I had the opportunity to review the policy advisory number 917 to 958, quite the packet. Policies, they were sharing similar language, so they were joined together, and so they had to delete some of them, as well as some of the language was simplified and streamlined. And so the motion recommended is to approve the reading for policy advisory number 917 to 958 as presented.
Any questions or comments? So, Mr. Noor, I just have a quick question on looking at, let's say, at the first page where it says deleted, that's bolded. That's what we're gonna be deleted, right?
That's correct. And that is, for the most part, on all of the deleted ones, is because they joined a couple of very similar ones into one.
Mm-hmm.
So then we delete the ones that are marked.
Okay. Any questions or comments? Need a motion?
So move.
Motion was made by Ms. Clark,
Second.
second by Ms. Delgadillo. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to 7.5, approval of the reading for policy advisory number 959.
This particular one also had some language that was duplicated, so in order to consolidate a couple of policies into one, they simplified the language.
Okay. Any questions or comments? Need a motion?
So moved.
Motion was made by Ms. Delgadillo,
Second.
second by Ms. Clark. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to announcements. 8.1, any recommendations from the board for future agenda items? No? 8.2, ASBA-ASA Annual Conference is December 17th through the 19th in Phoenix. If you're planning on attending, let Mary know. I think for me, Mary, it's gonna be a no. I don't know if the rest of you, just let Mary know.
Any future ASBA trainings, send them
Thank you.
And 9.1, need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion was made by Ms. Delgadillo,
Second.
second by Ms. Clark. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Have a great
And
evening.
we do need to sign paperwork, right?